Medicare coverage begins at 65, and the month that you turn 65, 3 months prior to that and 3 months after that, you've got your initial open enrollment period. And that is the big one.
Welcome back, everyone. A really important topic today. We are breaking down Medicare misconceptions and running through the basics. So there are many different enrollment periods with Medicare, and there are penalties, some severe if you miss your enrollment period. October 15th begins the annual election period that runs through December 7th. So the first question is, when does Medicare start and what deadlines do I need to keep in mind?
Well, in order for you to have a plan in place next year, you need to go through the open enrollment period again, October 15th through December 7th. Get your plan lined up, get your current plan assessed, even if you're already on a Medicare plan, because it always is beneficial to just double check things, right? Now, when does it begin? That's at 65. Medicare coverage begins at 65, and the month that you turn 65, 3 months prior to that and 3 months after that, you've got your initial open enrollment period. And that is the big one. That is the time when you can get in and pick your plan and you have no pre-existing conditions that are going to prevent you from picking the plan of your choice. So get into a good plan, and you want to check and look, because all of the companies out there have kind of a predetermined table of price increases in their plan. You want to look at what's the most affordable, not just this year and year one, but what plan is the most affordable 3 years and beyond out, because what is the cheapest plan today may not be the cheapest plan in 3 years. And that is why this open enrollment period for everyone is important. That's when you can potentially change plans if you are not in the best or most affordable, or if you haven't liked the coverage, or they're not giving you access to the right doctors or hospitals where you can alter your plan. But there is medical screening, and you would have to deal with any pre-existing conditions. So it's best to get into a choice plan during your initial open enrollment period when you're turning 65, just in case health conditions pop up. And at this age, sometimes they are more apt to do that. So you want to make sure that you are enrolling everyone enroll at 65 for at least the basic Medicare coverage. And then we'll talk, I think, about the different letters and different parts of the plan here. But right now, essentially, October 15th through December 7th, everybody double checking and reviewing your coverage as well.
Mm-hmm. And now let's talk through those parts. As you know, Peter, there are 4 parts, A, B, C, D. I want to start, though, with parts A and B and the differences between the two, please.
Yeah. So part A is your medical emergencies, your emergency rooms, your hospital coverage. And we talked about misconceptions with Medicare. I want to get to one right now, is that Medicare does not cover long-term care. It does not cover any and every medical expense. There are limitations within each one of these letters as to what the benefit covers. So Medicare Part A covers short-term stays in hospitals, some regular medications and lab services, but it is not a comprehensive coverage. It is not even like the routine doctor care. So Part A is the one that everybody has to sign up for at 65. If you are still employed, you may have other coverage that overlaps with Part A, but you still need to sign up and hold your place in line with Part A at 65. If you do have existing coverage through your workplace, then perhaps you can delay on those other ones, like Part B, which is covering regular routine doctor's visits, by the way, with ongoing premium expenses and regular co-pays and deductibles, just like health insurance. So again, Medicare is not free. That's another misconception I want to clear up, is that for most people, you are going to be paying some kind of premium payments, oftentimes deducted right from your Social Security, for the level of comprehensive coverage that you need when you start combining these letters. Part A, hospital stay. Part B, those routine doctor visits with premiums, with coinsurance, with deductibles. So you need to examine that during your initial and your open enrollment periods.
Okay, so now I want to hop over to Part D real quickly. What is it? And then do I need it?
D is for drugs. So Part D is your prescription drug coverage. You can pick a plan through an insurer that covers your prescription drugs, and you really want to kind of cater and customize this to what medications you may currently be on. Make sure that they are covered. Make sure that the dosage and frequency and where you like to get those prescribed to you and filled, all of those things are covered for the most reasonable cost possible. But for most people, we are seeing, Part A is kind of an automatic. Part B, Part D, pretty necessary to have true kind of healthcare coverage in and through your retirement years after 65. By the way, vision and dental, not necessarily covered by these initial A, B, and D letters. So that is supplemental, and you need to find outside coverage for that.
Okay. And some good news, though, about Part D after the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, they capped some of the costs for specific and pretty critical medications, where we're hearing in the news and from the speak from the politicians, where we capped the cost for insulin. That was part of that Part D addressed through the Inflation Reduction Act, where insulin was capped at $35. And they're saying that they're going to extend that out even for others. We've got some of the highest medical expenses in the world here in the United States. So where any entity can step in and help control that and is not at the behest or employed by the insurance industry, I do think that it's hopefully beneficial for not only our care, but our costs.
Okay, so now let's talk about Part C. Some say you need it. This is known as the Advantage Plan. Others say you don't. What do we need to keep in mind?
Yeah, well, this is where other parts of your Medicare coverage can be combined into a single plan to possibly include dental and vision care. But the Part C plans, you've got a full menu of options. And by the way, just to preface this conversation, maybe should have done this at the beginning. I'm licensed in Medicare, but I also understand that I know enough to know that I don't know enough that this is my full-time job. It is not. I'm helping people with the investment side, often in the same kind of age range as Medicare is a factor. And Medicare is an important component of a comprehensive plan. We talk about the optimized retirement plan, where you've got income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy are the 5 major topics of the plans that we help design. But I've got professionals that do nothing other than Medicare that I coordinate that with on behalf of my clients to make sure that they are getting advice from somebody who is in the weeds, in the thick, in the know, and does nothing more than stays up to date, plus has all of the tools at their disposal that they can walk somebody through. Is it going to be best to get the A, B, D combination, or maybe is it going to be best to get a C plan where everything is sort of combined into one plan? So again, important that you walk through this. And if you need any help, and certainly my clients, I've got those professionals that I refer out or make the introduction to that coordinate and join us in on conversations and meetings that walk through these and can show you what those price charts look like, not just this year, but 2-3 years out into the future, and what your expenses that you can expect to be will be.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, Peter. Clearly, there's so much that goes into it. How do you even begin to help a client determine what they need?
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Just like your financial professional generally is not also your attorney and your tax preparer, because keeping up with tax law and keeping up with the estate planning laws, those also are respective full-time jobs in and of themselves. Like the healthcare benefits, especially with Medicare, are something that I believe everybody should have a resource that is their area of expertise and focus. And again, I'm helping my clients with the investment side. So where and when needed, and it very often is, that my clients need either that help through their initial open enrollment period or through the annual open enrollment period and want to double check things. We connect and bring them into those conference call conversations with the client, with the Medicare and professional, all kind of looking at the same goal here, is to keep as much of our money as possible and get the coverage that we need.
Absolutely. Well, of course, it has to be part of a well-rounded financial plan. That makes sense. Peter, if somebody would like to talk this through with you or the people who you work with to coordinate the Medicare, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, reach out, give me a call. Again, bringing this all together as part of a comprehensive and cohesive plan is important. One thing depends on the other in retirement: your Medicare premiums, your Social Security, the retirement income that you're drawing from investments. All are contingent upon each other, and they need to be coordinated and well thought through. So give me a call to get that conversation and the process of a plan, the optimized retirement plan, started. 919-300-5886, 919-300-5886. You can go online at richonplanning.com is what it looks like. It's Richon Planning, it's my last name, but it looks like richonplanning.com. Peter at richonplanning.com is the email address. And by the way, this conversation should actually not start at 65. If you can start these conversations earlier, you're going to be in better shape, because Medicare premiums are means tested. Meaning the more taxable income, the more taxable assets that you have, the higher you probably and will pay in Medicare premiums. So if we can do some proactive planning at 55 and 60 years old, we may be able to control that into the future years of your retirement, and the earlier the better on the planning there.
Great. Peter, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Erin. Thank you. Hey folks, Peter Richon here with Richon Planning. So glad that you are enjoying the podcast, Planning Matters Radio. One of the tools that we've put out there that people really seem to appreciate and really are finding of value is at 919retired.com. It is your retirement tax bill calculator. If you've got any kind of retirement account, your tax deferred, 401k or IRA, this is the website, this is the resource where you can go, you can plug in your own numbers, your information, you can slide the tool calculator up and down for your tax rate or your amount of savings, and see what your tax bill is likely to be if you default and defer to the IRS's plan versus what you could potentially bring that tax bill down to. A lot of times it is a very significant savings. So if you have not yet, go to the website 919retired.com, run your numbers on the retirement tax bill calculator.
This has been Planning Matters Radio.
The content of this radio show is provided for informational purposes only and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. You are encouraged to seek investment, tax, or legal advice from an independent professional advisor. Any investments and/or investment strategies mentioned involve risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.